Hey there, Jesse James Hennessy here, writer, director, editor of Night of the Witch. With me is some of the cast and crew. We have Kendall Franklin, we have John Reddy, we have Jade Warpenburg, we have Jason A. Young, and Shaun Springer. Say hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Yeah, before we get into it, if people watching don't know, Night of the Witch is a short film that we shot. We did a proof of concept trailer back in 2016, and we ran a crowdfunding campaign for a feature film. We didn't quite make that amount of money to make the feature, but we made a short over a couple years. We put it out in the theaters around Halloween, on Halloween, I think it was. It's like the day after or something.
Yeah.
It's submitted to a whole bunch of film festivals, and now we're going to put it online. So just want to chat about it with some of the cool people involved. I got questions for all of you, but I think we could start it off with a group question. Tell me about a fun memory on set of Night of the Witch. Who wants to start?
I'll start. I think my funnest memory was the sunset shot in the truck that we filmed. That turned out really cool. That looks really cool. And it was just fun to do.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I think that was our first day of shooting the short film, and that was a really fun sequence. We're out there running. We're trying to beat the sun. I think we only had 20 minutes tops to get that.
Yeah, something like that.
And we're able to get it. It looks really great. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a fun time. Heck yeah.
I'll go with mine. I think the most fun was on the initial shoot for the Indiegogo. We were in the barn out on Amy Calkins' property. Amy did the makeup effects for that. And we were doing the throat slit and the blood spray. And I know there's photos online of just everybody wrapping themselves up in paper bags. That was pretty awesome. That was really cool to see that happen. So,
yeah, that was one of my favorite, I think, scenes and shots of what we did with that trailer and the short film. It was really cool, like that slit. I remember Jade. He was covered. He just had a garbage bag on.
Yeah, the first of many garbage bags.
Right? No, that was really fun. Yeah, heck yeah.
I can kind of go. I think it was in the concept trailer, and it was my favorite shot probably. But when we just kind of strapped ourselves to the back of Amy's ATV, and I forgot who was running down that path, but that was the shot that I think, seeing that was definitely the most reminiscent of the 80s types of horror films where it's just kind of stupid teenagers running away from the killers. But I don't know, it was just it was 4 a.m. in the morning, and I think we were trying to get the shot done before the sunrise. And I thought that one's definitely my favorite shot and favorite moment.
Yeah, no, that was cool. I remember that too. It was really early in the morning. Like you said, it was 4 or 5. I think it was Brooke, it was Maxine, and it was Nicholas. They were all running.
Yep.
Yeah, and then we had a couple of cheap fog machines just going, and we had to time it just right. We only had a couple seconds to get the fog in those shots. It was all exterior, and luckily there wasn't that much wind either.
Yeah, I'm still surprised that we were able to get the good enough coverage with the little amount of lights that we had, and and just a couple of small fog machines.
Yeah, no, it turned out really good. Heck yeah. You guys got some memories?
Yeah. I loved every minute of it. But the one memory I really do have was the first day shooting. We filmed it at an old Safeway building. And it was, I think, the last scene that we filmed that day where Tanya originally died. And she was inside an old office, but outside of the office it was mostly dark in there, but there was some lighting on me and John and me and the witch.
Yeah.
I just remember looking around and thinking, I'm on a movie set, and it was the most amazing feeling.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, no, that was that Safeway was definitely a really cool location. We got a lot of good stuff out of there, for sure. And they're
big, so that's what really
yeah.
made it. Yeah.
a lot of amazing people on the shoot, you know, for sure.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Yeah, that was like 3 years ago, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or 2, something like that. 2 years?
That was the 3
I think
years.
that's 3.
One.
3. Dang.
To be fair, 2020 has been about 4 years anyway, so it's
That's true, right? John, how about you? You got any fun stuff?
My fun memory is also an apology for Miss Shannon, because the first time I met her, she has a very bubbly personality, but the first time I met her, she was in her full witch makeup, and it really wigged me out. So I kept avoiding talking to her and looking at her, and I'm afraid that she thought I was rude. So I'm sorry, Shannon.
That's pretty funny.
that might be why she didn't come. Maybe she's still pissed off about it.
Yeah, she's
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll just, okay, bye.
That's awesome. No, she looks scary, which is good. Yeah,
They're just like really gross.
yeah. She had to get into that outfit. It took at least like 3 to 4 hours every time she did it. No, for sure.
That was the first time I met her too, was in her witch's makeup.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that the first time everyone met her? Was she in a witch makeup?
I think a lot of other people had met her before, but yeah.
Yeah.
I remember. That was the time that we had to do the kiss, and then yeah.
She
had all that
Cool.
witch makeup. It was funny.
Well, heck, we'll just get into some individual questions. Okay, there we are, back. So Jade, you've been with the project from the beginning. What kind of lighting techniques did you use to shoot it, and the challenges that came with achieving the lighting we're trying to get with time crunch and not much budget?
I think, from what our original conversation, many years ago, I know that you kind of wanted some very strong red and blue accents, and the concept trailer was kind of like the foundation for, I guess, for the short film. And the tricky parts were, like I was saying, for the concept trailer, lighting exterior nights is not easy, let alone with a pretty small package. And what helped is that I think because we were going for a little bit more campy style, nothing too realistic, that the source things can be kind of sourcey, and we can play with just having one huge kind of moon essentially behind all the and played in silhouettes. So I think those are it's always tricky doing night exteriors, and that's why you cut all of them. But another thing was with the super strong red and blue accents is I know we occasionally ran into some issues of being able to see the blood, how dark everything is. And so it's kind of like a balance between keeping that, consistency and style, but also seeing the action, because I remember and something that we probably talked about it after that barn scene, but I think it was more with the blood splatter, we needed to be a lot thicker, we needed to be a lot darker.
Yeah.
So when it came time to film the final scene, definitely kind of let loose on that, and that was a good progression of what we kind of previously deployed, and then how we then progressed to that. Those are kind of the main things that the journey.
No, I like how it all looked. The colors are pretty spot on. There's some beautiful looking stuff in there for sure.
I think that with the time crunch, like you were saying, and just the big cast and all the prosthetics and everything, with what we did in just a couple of days, essentially, it's pretty impressive. Yeah,
and it was also impressive with how the tone relatively, the color tone stayed the same with I think we had 4 different cameras for the short film.
So even when you and Trevin shot the miniature set. Like even that is then, because that is the establishing shot of the film, so that then sets the tone for everything else.
Yeah,
and I think it is a good, the communication that Trevin and I and you had was pretty crucial to, like, keeping, like you're saying, keeping that consistency, because it could have been like out of nowhere, like another, because I remember I had to leave for a little bit, shooting inside Safeway, and Trevin just stepped in and was able to kind of keep on going, and there's really no, you can't tell. So I think we all worked pretty well as a team. Cool stuff. Kendall, we'll move over to you.
Okay.
So you entered the project pretty last minute. I think you came in like we were shooting that weekend, and you popped in like the day before. What was it like for you, like not meeting anyone and just getting thrown into it? Like as an actress, are there any tools you used with like no prep time at all?
Because this was my very first film that I've ever done, and I was a little nervous. I thought about backing out of it, honestly, and I'm so glad I didn't.
Me too.
I showed up the next morning, and you were the first one I met, and and everyone was just so nice and so appreciative that I came in at the last minute. So that made me so much more comfortable and relaxed and confident, really. But the thing I do to prepare, this is what I've always done, like in my acting class too. I just try to memorize my lines as much as I can and then go in there and do it.
Yeah.
Really rehearse all that much. I just memorize the lines, and it's always worked for me.
Yeah. Memorizing lines, that's like the foundation, I would imagine, for actors, right? Yeah. Cool. But it must have been pretty overwhelming, I would imagine, like coming into that being your first time on set.
Yeah, it was super last minute too. So I was on the set, I think 8-10 hours later. I
think maybe we set a high standard too, because we had some really rad things on that set.
So much fun. It was a great first experience.
Awesome. Heck yeah. Cool. Well, Shaun, let's move on to you. You were the assistant director for the proof of concept trailer way back when we were all young. And then I think the short film, you were just kind of popping in and out, right?
Yeah, I think just schedule-wise, when you guys were shooting the short, I wasn't available. So I remember my experience on the actual short was you were filming a couple of days in the Safeway, and I think I was able to come by for a couple of hours. But I was like, I had already done like a 17-hour day on another project. Yeah. And I tried to help out. I don't know if I actually did. And then on when you guys were later shooting downtown for the short film, I remember like coming in and everything was so efficient. I really didn't even feel like I had a place. I remember like I tried to like go around and help people, but everybody was just doing their thing, and I just felt like I was getting in the way. So I remember I just like, slowly like kind of like crept out.
That's awesome.
not because I felt unwanted, but I definitely just everything was just really well done.
Yeah, I think we were just moving along,
obviously. But yeah, like doing the proof of concept trailer was really cool. I mean, it was a blast to be a part of that, and I hope I facilitated things as needed as whenever possible.
Yeah, no, you rocked it. What's your favorite scene from the film?
Oh, overall, gosh, the knife through the pop can is probably like one of my favorite kills of all time in anything, and it just happens to be a Night of the Witch.
That's pretty cool. Now, that was kind of fun. There were blood spraying, beer spraying. I think we actually used real beer too, spraying that around. So everyone to be fully immersed in the moment, covered in blood, and beer and all that stuff.
But I mean, I was super proud to be a part of it. I mean, I'm amazingly proud of everybody's work on it, and it was so cool just seeing how many people came out to act and be part of the crew, and and everything. And the final product is amazing. I'm really, really proud of it. It's really
Heck
cool.
yeah. Glad you like it. I remember one thing you helped with specifically, it was like the first shooting weekend at the Safeway. You popped in for like an hour, and we were doing a scene where the killer had to like jump past the screen and at the same time slit Tanya's throat.
Yeah.
We're doing it one way, and you came in and were like, well, how about you do it like this? So it's more.
Yeah.
So you made that scene better.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I slit Tanya's throat as efficiently as possible.
If there was another Night of the Witch film in some form, what would you like to see happen?
Oh, I mean, I think the feature has to happen one day. I'm not saying we're going to start it right now, but I think the feature has to happen. I mean, of course, everybody wants episodic content. I could see Night of the Witch done as like Tales from the Crypt. I love anthology stuff just in general, so I think it'd be cool to show, like, you could do a whole series of like people telling different stories, or maybe something like Trick or Treat, which is like one of my favorite Halloween movies of all time.
Yeah, no, I definitely continue with the Night of the Witch in some form for sure.
Or do some TikTok. Do some TikTok things for the kids nowadays.
Some Night of the Witch talk.
Yeah, right. There you go.
Oh, cool. Heck yeah, John. You play Billy, who by design is supposed to be a character that's, you don't know, maybe he's good, maybe he's bad. It's the red herring. What's a challenge in playing a character like that, where you're trying to keep the audience guessing?
Well, he wasn't so much the red herring the last time that we did it in the rewrites, but originally my goal was to try not to be a Scooby-Doo villain and lean into it too much. So I just tried to make it subtle, but like subtle enough that you could still sort of read into it, so that way it wouldn't be insulting to the audience's intelligence.
No, the stuff with you at the very beginning of the film, it shows you doing that perfectly, for sure. That was really cool. And you also direct your own horror films. Do you like being in front of the camera or behind the camera more?
Well, I think it's more fun to be in front of it, just because you get to do some sort of extreme stuff, like running away from a witch and getting stabbed and getting your heart ripped out and all that. But for the producing, directing, all that, because you have to wear so many hats, it's a little more stressful, but because you put so much work into it, I think it makes the end product more rewarding. So I enjoy them both a lot.
Heck yeah. Have you worked on anything recently, like before this all happened, or during, or?
The last thing I shot was, I think, 2 days before the stay-at-home order. And that was actually a comedy, so I cut that together. And then right before we started doing this, I was having a Zoom rehearsal for something I'm shooting in July, which is more like a PSA drama sort of thing. So I think we'll get back into horror at some point, but we've deviated a little bit this year.
Yeah.
Real world's scary enough.
Gotta change it up. Cool. How about Jason? You've been with this project from the start too, and you play a really fun character, Jim Bob, good old moonshine drinking, hunting hillbilly guy. So how does having a visual transformation with like the beard, the aging, wardrobe, all the props and stuff you have, how does that inform your character? How you play him?
Well, I think for a character like that, is such an extreme character, just in the script, so that really sets the attitude of the character, the tone. But sure, the adding the hat and the makeup and the costume and all the props, that certainly brings it all together. And you're about 75% Jim Bob with just the beard, and then you put everything else, and that's 100% Jim Bob.
That's awesome. What would you like to see Jim Bob do in a future Night of the Witch project? What would he be doing?
I don't know.
Would he be kicking around still?
Obviously, yeah, I think so. I think some of the kind of the funny things we've talked about, but the fact that he has this vest of dynamite, that would be fun to play with. He gets caught in a nest of witches or something, so he has to start lighting off sticks of dynamite to get out of it. I don't know. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. The fun thing I like about your character is that you have a cigar going and you have all this dynamite, so there's like zero regard for your own safety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think luck shines down on Jim Bob. He just kind of makes his way through the world and just manages not to kill himself in the process, you know.
He's probably got a leprechaun he captured in the back of his truck. Drives
Right.
Good luck. Yeah.
Right.
Cool. Well, yeah, let's wrap it up with another group question. How much blood do you guys think you got on you during this whole thing, this whole film, this whole process, including which blood?
That include trash bags that got covered in
Yes.
blood.
Yeah. No. Shaun.
I think this is like a first, pretty much a first for me, at least at that point in working with you, that I didn't get any blood on me, I don't think.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't believe I got any on me.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
I think I was wearing new shoes that day too, so I think I managed to escape most of it, even though I was like right next to the source.
Yeah.
I remember we covered up the camera again for like the throat slit thing in the Indiegogo trailer.
Yeah.
We covered the camera a lot, but you still obviously have to have the lens open. And we had put like a clear filter over it. And I do remember like having to clean that off afterwards. And somewhere somebody took pictures of it because it was just like caked in blood. And I've been fortunate enough to clean off a lot of blood off of cameras over the years. But it was pretty spectacular. I don't think I have any photos because I was cleaning it, but several other people took photos.
Yeah. We'll find those photos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got covered in enough blood to scare the checkout girl at the grocery store afterwards. Went to buy a pizza. And it was just unfortunate. I had a little crush on this checkout girl at the grocery store around the corner from me. And then she's looked up after scanning. She's like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sorry. It's a movie."
Just covered.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Another Tuesday.
The same thing happened with me after we filmed 2 years ago and I died. I got
Spoiler alert.
in the chest and it was pretty much all from the waist up.
Yeah.
And I had it all over my face and I went to the grocery store after we filmed and I've got blood all over my face and everyone's wondering what happened to you. What happened to you? I had it on my arms. It was funny.
That's cool.
But a lot of blood in general.
Yeah. Well, if we make another one, there's going to be even more blood, twice as much blood. So.
Well, we're both dead, so we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Spoiler. Sorry.
Yeah.
I think what's the most blood we used on that shoot? I think it was the green blood with the chainsaw. Was that the most we used?
Yeah. You had like, I think there were like 4 or 5 people on different sprayers. Yeah. We used quite a bit on that shot.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for being here and talking about Night of the Witch. And for people watching, just keep an eye out for everything Night of the Witch. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. I'll put the links in the description, and our short film is either out now or it will be out soon. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.